Something is missing in Los Teques, the capital of Venezuela's Miranda state. It's the sound of the state's oldest radio station. Now the AM station is silent. Ordered to go off air on July the 31st, when authorities notified Metropolitan and 33 other radio stations that they lacked legal broadcast licenses. Like Metropolitan, the vast majority of the stations were critical of the government.
This is affecting not only the radio, but Venezuelan society, which has the right to live in a democratic country with the right to pluralistic sources of information.
Like the majority of the stations taken off air, Metropolitan FM is using the internet to defy the ban. In the last decade, since President Hugo Chavez took office, the media has been anything but silent. From the very beginning, there was no love lost between President Chavez and the mainstream media, which is run by the opposition. But when that opposition decided to back a military coup attempt to oust President Chavez from this presidential palace, the confrontation became an all-out declaration of war, one that has been intensifying year by year.
Aquí hay un solo responsable.
And nowhere more so than on television. After the 2002 coup attempt and a subsequent national oil strike failed to oust Chavez, RCTV and Globovision took the lead in mobilizing opposition to the man they see as a bad clone of Fidel Castro.
Cuídate, Hugo. No termines como.
Careful, Chavez, or you'll be hung just like Mussolini.
And what you have seen, the irresponsible use of a public domain to promote myriad terrorism, like 64 days of propaganda against a democratically elected government. What Globovisión does here, what they do here, what they have done here, would have not been allowed anywhere in the world.
2 years ago, Chavez refused to renew RCTV's broadcast license, forcing it to turn to cable with a much smaller reach. Now he is threatening to shut down Globovision, the only remaining over-the-air TV network that openly opposes Chavez.
This is the newsroom.
We wake up every morning to see if we're still open.
Alberto Ravel concedes that Venezuela's intense political polarization makes totally objective journalism impossible, but he defends the right to unrestricted freedom of expression.
The president doesn't like to see news that doesn't agree with this revolution.
What the state cannot stand is the destabilization efforts that these media advances at every given moment, at every chance that they have.
True, 80% of the airwaves are still privately owned. But the question is, can they remain independent and free to oppose a government that vows that it won't allow the powerful voice of the media to stand in the way of its revolution? Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Caracas.